Welcome to Boots on the Ground, the 15-minute briefing, your daily roundup on veterans housing, advocacy, and solutions. I'm Evette Jones-Swanson, Army veteran, National Veterans Housing Advocate, and CEO of Vet Mentors, LLC. For more than 20 years, I've been on the front lines, housing over 5,000 homeless veterans and pushing for real change. In just 15 minutes, we'll cover today's wins, setbacks, and opportunities, from housing solutions and government policy to partnerships, publications, and training. This isn't just a show, it's a movement. Together, we're turning challenges into victories for veterans and their families. Let's begin. Well, I am definitely going to play a different video because that video that just aired is for my 15-minute boots on the ground daily, Monday through Friday. So this is the video you all need to hear since we are talking about homeless veterans.
A lot of realtors are walking this way, and I'm just going to ask if they know how to house homeless veterans. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
No.
Okay.
I sadly do not.
I do not, but I would love to learn.
I do not. I do not, but I would like to know how. The answer to that is no.
No. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
I do not.
I do not.
Do you know how to house a homeless veteran?
He's a veteran and he would be
Come
homeless
here.
if I did not house.
Okay. We're here at the Capitol, Illinois State Capitol. This is the lobby day for realtors. And I did make an announcement on the bus about my 3-hour course that I wrote to teach realtors how to work effectively with a homeless veteran. Just because the veteran is homeless doesn't mean they don't have resources to use to get housed or to get anything else they need, because they do. But how do you get to those resources to help that homeless veteran get housed? I've got the class and it'll be out soon.
Well, hey, welcome back. And I just want to say the class was already out. I offered this class, A Realtor's Blueprints, The Veteran's Path to Home, Navigating the Journey from Homelessness to Home Ownership. This class was written, I wrote the class and the publication as a 3-hour, a 4-hour, and a 6-hour class. Well, I taught the cohort to this class, not the cohort, but a pilot for the 3-hour. And clearly it was not long enough. So this class will be resubmitted to the IDFPR as a 6-hour CE class. My name is Evette Jones-Swanson, and I am a realtor with Real People Realty. I've been a realtor for 26 years, but with different brokerages. But I've been with Real People Realty now for since 2011. I can't add up do the math. And I'm also a real estate instructor. I've been a real estate instructor since 2014. And I've been a college adjunct instructor for a couple colleges, University of Phoenix Online. When they first started, I was one of the first adjuncts, and also an adjunct for ITT Technical Institute for 4 consecutive years. Wow. Being an instructional designer. Yeah, I did books like this as an instructional designer for the ICC. That's the International Code Council. So I have a lot of experience when I talk about real estate, and not just from a rental aspect, but also selling. That's how I can take a homeless veteran from homelessness to home ownership, as it states on the cover of this publication. And I take what I do very, very, very seriously. I like to have fun, but I'm also serious about the people who I serve and the community that I serve in. And after, I'm dressed up today. I don't think y'all ever saw me dressed up. But after this, I'm going down to a procurement opportunity at the city of Chicago to introduce myself to people in various agencies who are involved with and who are responsible for housing our homeless veterans in some capacity, like with the Department of Justice, when veterans are being released from incarceration, homeless, from Department of Housing, Department of Aging, because they have veterans who need housing and they need all types of housing and not just housing where I'm working with a veteran. Well, he just contacted me this morning after a few months ago, and his income is $1,897. And you think about $1,897 for a family of three, and this is all he received. So that's telling me now one of the resources that he's not participating in, or probably hasn't even filled out an application for, is his disability compensation. 1897 is not disability compensation. And if it is, it might be a small percentage on top of Social Security. So that's really not enough money to house a veteran and three adults. So we'll be having a conversation, and I will be directing him to resources that he can tap into for rental assistance, and also somebody to help him increase his disability compensation. Because if his disability compensation was increased to 100% per se, him and his wife and their disabled child, then, do the math. It's over $3,400 a month plus Social Security. So those are some things that I help the community understand, that when you're working with the homeless veteran and they tell you something like, my income is $1,300. Well, that's a resource that they need to get in touch with, and where you can help them get in touch with the VSO or somebody in the community who that may work a little bit quicker, a little bit faster than a paid VSO. So let's get right into it, because I do have to end this live stream on time today to be where I am going. It won't be on time because it started at 10 o'clock. Again, my name is Evette Jones Swanson, and I am a realtor. I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate. And I'm a GovCon certified, licensed, and a lot of stuff. So anyway, y'all don't want to know about me. Google me. This book that we're covering, and this is the last day. So if you have not seen, if you have not watched parts 1, 2, and 3, then go back and watch parts 1, 2, and 3. I don't read to you from this book. You can read the book yourself. Purchase the book on Amazon or Realtor's Blueprints. Type in my name, Evette Jones Swanson, and get the book, so that when the class does come out, you'll already have the book and be on top of a lot of things that we're going to talk about. So we talked about the table of contents, and I mentioned to you that this book is split up in two parts. And the reason why I split this book up in two parts is because, thank you all over here on TikTok for joining this morning, and thank you all from Facebook and Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And if you have not clicked the share, like, and follow button, please do so at this time. So this book, A Realtor's Blueprint. I'm a realtor, and I've been housing homeless veterans. I can't say that enough. Homeless veterans as a realtor for 22 consecutive years. And realtors ask me all the time, Evette, how do you get paid when you're working with a homeless veteran? Well, that's because I know where their benefits come from. And that's because sometimes they come to me with benefits. And I work with investors who I also teach and train through publications and through mentorships and consultations, because I don't do this for free. So when you want to engage with me, please go to a link and find out how to engage with me. You can come on here live and watch me live all day long. What is this? How can veterans keep celebrating milestones after moving in? What? I don't know. After moving into a rental? I don't know. Some of these questions. Thanks for that, Jack, but I don't know how to answer that. How do they, I can't. I don't know what to say about that. I'm just going to put that up here. So just follow along, get the book, and then you can probably find some milestone celebration tips in here. I don't know. I can't answer that. So this book is written in 2 parts. And the reason it's written in 2 parts is simply because a lot of realtors have never worked with a homeless veteran before. So if you've never worked with a homeless veteran before, then you have to know that demographic. You have to know that avatar. You have to get the book. You have to know that avatar. So as a realtor, if you've never worked with a homeless veteran before, you have to get to know that homeless veteran's mindset. You have to get to know where this homeless veteran came from before they were homeless, what put them there, what barriers are keeping them out of being housed. So you're not just a realtor, but you're also an advocate. And people in the community, I have publications for you too. So you have questions. What's the best way to stay connected with community support? Get this book, Finding Home for you over here on because all of my information, I'll tell you, is in publications. I've written a new encyclopedia for those of you who are old enough to know what an encyclopedia collection is. That's what I've written. So all of your questions that you're asking me about this is in one of these publications. So just go on Amazon and grab a publication and please start reading. Please start reading so you can know what's going on in the veterans community. Because the one-shot question, I say this all the time, will not answer your whole mindset of how do you do this? Read. I did this for 22 years and I cannot answer your question to fullness in one sentence. So get a book and read it. So today we are talking about a realtor's blueprint. And before I continue, let me see if there are any questions over here on TikTok. Thank you all for watching. All right. So, all right. Am I going to play another video? Let me see. Do I have anybody else to introduce you all to? I try to create a video for every homeless veteran that I'm working with, or here's something right here's a video that I want you all to watch, and I'm going to reposition you over here on TikTok so you all can see it too. And this is from one of the workshops.
My name is David Matthews. I just attended the credit repair workshop. I'm an Army veteran. The information was very informative. The home buying workshop is very informative and insightful. The staff was very professional, courteous. And I mentioned this to one of my colleagues at work, and he's also a Navy veteran, I believe. And he was also able to, with the help of Evette, purchase a house. I went to his barbecue. He's loving it, and he's reaching out to other veterans as well.
By the way, he's an Air Force veteran.
Air Force, that's what it is. Right. He's Air Force. So this program is a proven tool. It's a great resource for veterans.
Team and I would go and conduct. So I started housing homeless veterans because I was once a homeless veteran myself. And as a homeless veteran, I didn't have any assistance. What resources are most valuable for long-term success? disability compensation. Disability compensation, at least 100%. And please get the books. Please, please, please get the books. Please get the books. That's all I gotta say is get the books, because everything that you're asking me is in 1, 2, or a few of these publications. It's like this, the new encyclopedia for homeless veterans housing, for individuals who want to set up housing for veterans. There's a book for that too. This is the Innovative Housing Solutions, a guide to veterans shared living models. Okay, get this book on Amazon if you're interested in learning how to create housing spaces for veterans. If you are a social worker, case manager, human care professional, get this book. This is the Collaborative Housing Solutions for Homeless Veterans. All right, this book teaches social workers, case managers, human care professionals how to work effectively with realtors, with builders, with investors, with other agencies that have money. And the reason why I wrote this book is because social workers, human care professionals, first responders, case managers, they don't know anything outside of what they're taught. So if a social worker, case manager, or human care professional is working in the homeless walk-in HUD-VASH department, then that's what they're going to talk to a homeless veteran about is HUD-VASH, and possibly a few SSVF organizations that are on this $3.8 billion list nationwide. That's how they're going to talk about. They're not going to talk about you're low income and we've got some shared housing in the community. They're not going to talk about that because they don't know about that. They're not going to talk about how a realtor can help you find a unit, because if they don't have them in their contact list that's in this publication, that they find out who they are and put them in here, then they won't know about them. So these one offset questions are not going to answer. I just can't do them justice. What's going to make your questions more come to life more is to get the books. Get the books. What is this question? How can veterans avoid financial struggles down the road? You answered that question. If a veteran has no money, if the veteran has no benefits through the VA for their compensation, disability, that would equal to 100%, $3,400 plus, if they have no Social Security, if they have no money, then they're struggling financially. How can they avoid financial struggles down the road? You can help them, because a lot of them don't know. A lot of veterans don't know about the benefits that we have: federal, state, local, in the community benefits. So I wrote this book. Hold on. Where is it? You see all the books I wrote, right? Good grief. And they still come, because it's 22 years of boots on the ground for me. So I wrote this book for everyday consumers like yourself, Chris, too, to buy. Finding Home. It helps you help the veterans find their resources locally, state, federal. I use AI, and I have tools that I show you and prompts that I give you in these books so that you can help veterans to become more stable. Thank you for that question. One more question. How important is peer support in housing stability? I don't know where these questions come from. Peer support, get the book and learn how to house them. You could be their peer support in housing veterans, because they're homeless. They need all the support we can get in all the communities we can have them in. Thank you for the hearts and the likes and the shares over here on TikTok. So let's get back into it. So a realtor's blueprint, the Veteran's Path to Home, navigating the journey from homelessness to home ownership. And this publication is on Amazon. So go pick it up. And then add all of your questions that you're asking me. How can veterans, okay, we talked about that, are in this book. So again, this book was written in a two-part series, 2 parts. The first part of this book is talking straight to the veteran, because the veteran, if the veteran is 55 years old, if the veteran is 22 years old, the veteran has questions, him or herself, right? Right? Yeah, they do. Because I was a homeless veteran and I had a ton of questions that I needed to ask somebody, but nobody knew. But I still needed to know, what are the questions that I need to ask so that I can get to a resolution of being housed or having my benefits. Those 2 things. How do veterans continue to grow after reaching stability? Oh, we talked about that already. By getting all of their benefits and finally buying a house to home ownership. So get the book. So veterans who don't know about their benefits, and they don't know who to go and ask, then this book will allow them that opportunity. Thank you for the hearts and everything. Will allow them that opportunity to know what type of conversations they should be having. Really, that's it. Because veterans don't know. If you are a veteran and you do know, good, then this sentence, this conversation right here doesn't apply to you. I'm talking to the veterans who are homeless, to the veterans who are losing their homes, to the veterans who need assistance but don't know who to go to, don't know how to ask. But it all revolves around housing. Who do you talk to when it comes to your housing stability? Who do you talk to when it comes to you applying for life-saving benefits? Because we are, as a U.S. Army veteran, look right, U.S. Army veteran, I am beneficiary of Uncle Sam. Whatever my uncle has, and whatever my uncle says, okay, that in order for you to get this, you're going to have to fill out this paperwork. Okay, uncle, I'm going to fill out that paperwork. And I'm going to come back to my uncle and say, uncle, they told me no. Well, Evette, I need you to go back and do it again. Okay, and go back. But before you go back, I need you to read so you can understand the questions that are going to be asked, so that you can frame your answers properly. So you have to read veteran, you have to read realtor, you have to read housing provider, you have to read social worker, case manager, and human care professional. You have to read veteran and veteran's family and the community that's surrounding the veteran. Oh, you have to read if you want to become an entrepreneur and care for veterans in your home as a licensed care home. Hold on a second. I've got more because it is an encyclopedia. You have to read if you are a veteran and you're interested in starting your own business from the passions that you do every single day. You don't have to go out and learn anything else except the business of the business that you want to run. So everything I have, every question that you have is in a publication. Why? Because I lived that life for 22 years. And not just my own, but other people. I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans, from homeless and a lot of them to home ownership. I'm cold with what I do. These are a few, this part of what I received this year, standing back here on the stand there. This is a proclamation that I received from the senator for Women Veterans Day, for a woman veteran, myself, for doing this in the community. For 22 years, I received a proclamation from the Senate. Hold on. I received an award from Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs, 25 women leaders in 2025. When I tell you, I don't even have to tell you. I'll let my awards and things tell you. Here's another award. Remember, I am a realtor. I received this award from the Main Street Organization of Realtors. This is the President's Award for outstanding service, dedication, time, so generously given to Main Street Realtors. I am a real estate instructor, and I wrote this class to teach realtors how to work effectively in the homeless veterans community. Now, and then this is another award. This is, oh my God, we've got a lot of them. But what I am most concerned with are, and the reason why I wrote this publication is because everybody keeps saying we shouldn't have homeless veterans. Okay, well, we don't have to. We don't have to. As long as everybody knows what they're doing, that's it. Get a book, read a few of them until you learn my secret. And then I am forming some other online educational platforms to teach you how to do this. As a realtor and as an investor, as a builder, you can build veteran villages just for veterans and get on this list. Get on this list. This $3.8 billion list that nation's finest in Arizona and California received $22 million, $22,942,240. All of this money, all of these agencies are doing something in the veterans community. Now, are they doing it well? That I don't know, but apparently not, because we still have homeless veterans. $3.8 billion could wipe out our homeless situation if people were doing the right thing. And that's why I started to come on and talk about what I've been going through for the past 22 years, boots on the ground, not hearsay. No. Not what the media is saying. No. Not what anybody's saying, but I see it because I'm here every day. I get the calls and the messages from homeless veterans nationwide. This book, nope, not this one. This book, Finding Home. In this book, Finding Home, I use the tools that I teach in this publication, how to help veterans as far as Washington, D.C., Hawaii, Las Vegas, Florence, South Carolina, Akron, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, right here in my own town, and Vicksburg, Mississippi. Let's just go to Hawaii, page 73. These were resources sent to a homeless female veteran in Hawaii. Now, this homeless female veteran was staying in her car. Now, any place to be homeless, I would say, yes, Hawaii. It's so beautiful and tropical. And no, you're still homeless. Why do you want to be homeless anywhere? So this female veteran, she didn't want to be homeless. So this list, and I put the actual list of what I sent her in this book, along with the QR codes, and this teaches you how to do the same. Along with the QR codes, phone numbers, addresses, the information they had about the organization, everything is in this book for every city, every state that a homeless veteran contacted me about. And I teach you how to do the same in this book for those of you who are interested in really helping homeless veterans in your community. Now, on this list for Hawaii, she found a resource. She said, Evette, I was in contact with them last year. So she called them and they said, hey, we've been trying to contact you. You were approved for housing last year. So if she hadn't contacted me here in Chicago, she wouldn't have followed back up with them. An approved place that she didn't even know she was approved for? Interesting. They couldn't contact her. Well, I wonder why. Homeless female veteran, maybe new phone number, no address. So how are you really trying to contact this homeless female veteran in Hawaii to tell her that she was approved for a unit a year ago? And her phone number was changed because maybe she didn't have the money to pay for the phone bill and they shut it off. And in order for her to get a new one, you got to get a new phone number. So now the agency could not reach her. But because she remembered she was in communication with them last year, she reached out to them. And they said, sir, we're so glad you contacted us because you are approved for an apartment. Just like that. So that's why I say pick up a book, read a book, and learn how to do what you say you want to do. Learn how to answer the questions that you keep throwing at me, because this gives you all of my publications gives you a step-by-step, I can't say it enough, a step-by-step framework on how to work effectively in this homeless veterans community and get paid as a realtor. As a realtor, I was making a six-figure income, housing homeless veterans, working in the community with social workers, case managers, human care professionals, and first responders. They would call me, Evette, you got something? I have a veteran. He's about to be released and he really wants to come home, but he has nowhere to go. Nowhere to go? Hold on, you say he has nowhere to go, but we have citizens in our community who has opened up homes, transitional living facilities for veterans in transition. Yeah. So now when a social worker or case manager calls, I can say, you know what? I do have a few providers in the community who just opened up some wonderful facilities for these incoming, formerly incarcerated citizens who just happen to be veterans. I'm just saying that's how all of this works. Now, let's say you are a realtor and the social worker calls you and says, hey, that I have 5, and this happens, I got 10 on my caseload and we need 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Well, guess what? I'm a realtor. And as a realtor, I work in the community with investors and builders and property managers. And I go down my availability list and call them up because I say, hey, I've got 5 veterans and I need this, and this. Well, Evette, I can give you this and this. Okay, fine. Put these names on there and we'll be there, or I'll send them there, or however they're going to be there. Call somebody else and say, I need this, and this. Okay, Vet, I got all 3. So now I just rented 5 apartments, condos, or houses sitting in my desk at home. And that's what I teach realtors how to do. And you get a commission because that veteran is going to that unit, and that unit, they have to pay rent. Investors want their rent. This is a business. It's not a charity. It's not a charity. How can I say that again? The veteran may have a HUD-VASH voucher. The veteran may have funding from any of these SSVF organizations over here on TikTok, these SSVF organizations that are nationwide and have money that they need to spend. They need to spend on their, all right. Huge thanks for shedding light on these real success stories. My pleasure, Dixon. So these organizations need to spend this grant money. So they may have a rental subsidy for 2 years or 4 years, or until the veteran stabilizes. The veteran might be in school full time, working on his or her doctorate degree. I have housed a veteran who is now a doctor. I housed the veteran who is now, oh my God, he just posted it on LinkedIn today that he was hired at the Illinois State Police as a chaplain, and he has his PhD in divinity. I housed him 3 times as a homeless veteran. How do you say 3 times? Well, yeah. One agency paid for his rent from this list. Then he was able to rent his own apartment, and then his own single family house that I rented to him. And unfortunately, he lost his job, but he rebounded and then bought a house. From homeless to home ownership, and a doctorate degree in divinity, going back to the correctional center to minister to the inmates. And then look, they need housing. Call my girl. She got me straight, so that's how it works. So now realtors, we are in a wonderful position to work in this homeless veterans community, because we are in touch with investors. But how do you make this connection? How do you create this conversation with your investor to uplift the veteran who needs housing? Because if you're having a conversation with, and I get into this in the book too, it teaches you how to have those. I'm getting the book today. Hey, now, thank you over here. Thanks, Art. So if you don't know how to have the conversation with an investor, you may have the most horrible veteran on paper, the most horrible homeless veteran on paper. I think the most horrible veteran on paper that I've had. Great show. I've learned so much from each part. Thanks, Annie. Thanks for being here again and again. And guys, if you have not started to follow me on YouTube, please follow me on YouTube, on LinkedIn and Facebook. And my great friend Carol Dean, Carol she does loans. So she's a great person to get in touch with for loans. I'm not doing that many now, because now I'm on the stage educating and sharing. 22 years. Hold on. Let me get my library. 22 years of knowledge in my library of books. And the library is called U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resources Book Series by Vet Mentors. So this is what I've been doing when y'all don't see me out and about, coming to everybody's functions and kicking it. Well, I've been in the lab. And I'm still in the lab. I've started working with the coach now to take my business to another level, because this right here needs to be nationwide, because everybody, and I don't know who. Tell me from any of these 4 platforms, if you have never ever said to a veteran, thank you for your service. If you've never said that, let me know. Even if you have said to a veteran, thank you for your service, let me know. You are awesome. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. It is totally my pleasure, Carol. I had to do something. I don't know. I'll share this with you all now too. As a realtor, in each stage of my illnesses, I was working with a homeless veteran or a former homeless veteran. I had a heart attack, and I was in that hospital bed on the phone with another realtor so that we can go ahead and get this deal sealed. And I didn't know what veteran that was until she came to one of my workshops down at the VA to tell me that was her. These were the workshops I was conducting for the past 13 years at the vet center in Forest Park. But she stood up and told everybody, and Evette was on the phone in the hospital bed after she had a heart attack to help me get my house. And I did that. And the reason I did that is because I figured, well, God, you didn't take me. I'm not dead. My brain still works. My mouth still works. Why can't I talk? My heart is still beating. So let me go ahead and get on the phone and get this woman this house that she needs, that she's been dreaming of. And it's a really nice house. It has an east wing and a west wing. Man, and that deal that I cut, oh my God. No money down, no closing costs. And I got the house for what she was approved for. They were asking for more. And I told them this is what she has and this is what we can do. And she needs closing cost credit so that she doesn't bring any money to the closing table. She's a veteran. There's no money down. And they agreed to all terms. And the house was move-in ready with brand new appliances. Oh, that house is so nice. In Park Forest. And I had the mayor come over and welcome her with a welcome gift. This was back in the day when I had the heart attack in 2019. Then I caught COVID-19 pneumonia. Oh, Lord Jesus, that right there that took me out. Literally, it took me out. I had a near-death experience. And when I returned back to this side of life, there was a doctor standing over me. And I asked her, I said, "Are you my angel?" She said, "No, Evette, is Dr. Carla." Dr. Carla was a former homeless female veteran that I housed 10 years ago, 10 years prior to her standing over me, praying over me. And then I went home. I'm like, okay, God, good. You didn't take me. You didn't keep me. So I'm back to house these homeless veterans. Thank you for the hearts and love over here on TikTok. And I was getting on the phone telling everybody I'm back. I'm emailing, I'm back. I sit on the couch and have a stroke. And God said, I'm not finished talking to you yet, daughter. Oh, I couldn't do anything. I turned my phone off. Do not disturb me. I couldn't even remember stuff that I did a second ago. I knew nothing. It was like a whole part of my brain was just shut off. And I felt it leave. Because I'm looking around like for stuff. And nothing was there. But this is what started to come out of that. Out of that stroke. God did a total brain shift. So now I don't go out showing houses and getting veterans under contract unless absolutely necessary. We did get a veteran under contract on a house that my husband went out and showed, and I did the paperwork and submitted the offer, and it came back first, highest and best. He didn't get it. Then it came back. The one who did get the house, they're backing out. So, and as they back out, the house is available again. So go ahead and he wants the house. So now we're waiting for that contract to be signed to come back. And that's the commission. I'm a realtor. So I just put a sale together. I forgot the word. Forgive me. It'll come back to me. So in this book, A Realtor's Blueprint, and if you don't already have it, please go and get it, because realtors need to know how to house homeless veterans in any situation. And the VA, they're so funny down there. They're so funny. I have one social worker. He'll call me, and I'm like, "Do y'all call me when it's like no more options? And am I your last option after y'all done took this homeless veteran through the ringer? Really? Why didn't you call me first so he could be housed right away? But you call me because now you need a miracle. Somebody done got on your ass, and because they done went to the director's office, somebody done got on your ass, and now you're calling Evette. But I'm not going to let the veteran down, but I am very, very disappointed in you again." There's one social worker, I housed one veteran 4 times. They're like my babies. 4 times. And he said, "Evette, I knew he was going to send me back to you, because can't nobody else house him. He has a record longer than I am. I'm 5'9". Who's going to house him with a record longer than 5'9"? Come on now. He's a homeless veteran with a record. And look, hold on. Isn't this book right here? This book right here, Innovative Housing Solutions, A Guide to Veterans Shared Living Models. This book right here teaches you how to house veterans from incarceration. But he didn't even have to go to a shared housing model. Every time he was released from jail, I got him housed in an apartment. And some of these apartments were fully furnished. And if they were not furnished, I would send him to Park Forest Veterans Closet for free furniture. All he had to do is go pick it up. So it's so many ways. There's so many ways that we can house homeless veterans in our community. And I cannot be on here reading every book to you either. And I won't do that. That's why I put it in books, so you can have a night of wine or 2 or 3 and get your colleagues together. You want me to come out and teach in your office? Just pick a subject and I will come and do that. 22 years experience. And I'll please, if you're not following me, liking the show, please do so at the time. And also share, because this is something brand new to our community. You know, I'm not asking for your money. You're a realtor. You learn how to do this. We're not co-opting a transaction. I teach you how to earn 100% commission from that transaction that you there's the word again, that you procured. Put it that way. So if you are a realtor, and let's say you're working with a veteran who has a HUD-VASH voucher. Here in Chicago, a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. What are we working on now? We just rented a 2-bedroom. Is that a 3-bedroom? It's either a 2 or 3-bedroom unit on the northwest side of Chicago for $2,500. $2,500. Now, mind you, I didn't show the unit, but I do have showing agents, and I split with them 50-50. But if I went out and showed that unit by myself and I was at the inspection when the inspector came, then I'm getting 100%. I don't need anybody to do anything for me. Back in the day, I didn't need anybody to do anything for me, because the inspections, I told my contractors and my investors, my builders, you need to have one of your staff at that inspection. They know your building, and make sure they're there with their tool belt on, just in case something needs to be tightened up or a light bulb needs to be changed or whatever. I'm not going to be there to do that. You want to work with me? We need to work smarter, not harder. You got 20 units vacant, then I'm going to send 20 veterans over there. But you need to have somebody at those inspections. And that's 100% commission paid to my realty group, Real People Realty. And I get what they pay me, which is a very nice, for what I did. So it's 100% minus 10%. That's what I pay Real People. Don't go back to Real People and say, Evette said. No, my contract is different. I've been with Real People since 2011, and I brought to them rentals. Nobody was doing rentals. He said, why you only do rentals? When I showed him my book of business, he said, oh, I see why you do rentals. It's not, I'm putting any of these listings for my investors, and I would carry 200, 300, 400 units at any given time. And these were not on the MLS. I didn't need them to be on the MLS because I already had homeless veterans from social workers, case managers, human care professionals calling me all the time. Even Section 8 would call me. Section 8, the HCP department, Housing Choice Partners, would call me because they have, guess who? They have veterans with an opportunity area voucher, meaning they can go move downtown, meaning they can go move to a higher class community, because now their rent is not only being paid in full, but is being paid 150% times the fair market rent. What? And you call me to get that money, honey? Guess what I have for you? I've got 2 downtown condos. As a matter of fact, I just got in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment on the north side, and that 2-bedroom, 1-bath will go for about $2,500. So that's what I'll be sending out today to the HCP department, to send me veterans or whoever they have with the 2-bedroom voucher to move in that unit. And the owner is going to send his janitor, his contractor there to meet the person and to be at the inspection and to give the person the move-in keys or move-in date. What am I doing as a realtor? I'm sitting at my desk doing the lease, the disclosures. Oh, first I'm going to do an application packet and send that over to the investor to say, hey, here's a couple that you can choose from, or here's one that's ready to go. He says, okay, cool, let's make it happen. All right, send me your moving papers, veteran, through the email, and I'll load them up to a system called Loop, or if you have another online signing platform you use, then that's what you use. Everybody fills out everything online, submit it to the housing authority. The housing authority creates an inspection. The inspection date is emailed over to the owner. The owner tells me and tells his contractor, his maintenance guy, to be there when this inspection takes place. The inspection passes. Hallelujah. They're going to call him or email him a rent offer. He's going to say yes, because it's going to be what it's always been every time I rented the units over the past maybe 10 years. I rented a unit over there to my own niece, and she's still there. Everybody I've rented units, who filled his units, he has loved them. So now the inspection passes. He accepts the rent offer. I start the lease, the Chicago lease. All the disclosures have already been signed. Now this new tenant, I'm going to send over those disclosures for that tenant to sign electronically. And what? Send the lease over to Section 8. They're going to send the HAP contract. If anything needs to be changed on the lease, I do it. No big deal. Resend it. Sign the HAP contract. Sign the ULA contract. Bam. We got a rental. I never left my seat. That's what I teach realtors how to do. Realtor blueprint. But now, that's the back end. You have to learn how to get there. How do you even work with a homeless veteran? Because you might run into a homeless veteran who is irate, who is combative. But you have to know the personality of your market. Thank you so much. Oh, look at that. I got a hat and some mustache over here on TikTok. But make sure y'all like and follow this so y'all can hear more, because I think next week, I don't know, I'm going to go through a book a month, and then because I'm setting up another platform where I'm going to actually be teaching, but it's going to be a paid platform. Not a whole lot, but y'all learn. You're going to get the book and you're going to go out there and make yourself a 6-figure income just housing homeless veterans. I remember one veteran called me, not veteran, but realtor called me, Halliburton. I like that name. I keep forgetting the first name because the last name is just so cool. Halliburton. She said, Evette, I remember you told me you only work from 9 to 5. I'm like, and what? Yes, I work from 9 to 5. Yeah, my kids get out of school, so I need to be home for them. They got homework. They have after school activities. Why am I working from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with the veteran or in the real estate community when I know the market and I know my market? I can work from 9 to 5. You can work from 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. You don't even have to work on Saturdays and Sundays as a realtor housing homeless veterans. Now you might ask, how is that possible? How is that possible? Get the book. It'll teach you everything you need to know. Yeah. So my book series, and I think I've got 3 more publications coming out. I do. Is on Amazon, U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resources Book Series by Vet Mentors. All right. Vet Mentors and Vet Mentors Publishing. So that's me on the back of all my books. So if you don't get me, then y'all know it's a counterfeit. So get the book, A Realtor's Blueprint, broken up in 2 parts. That's where I keep stopping. It's broken up in 2 parts. The first part is written to the veteran. So you as the realtor, you're understanding what I'm telling the veteran, what I'm sharing with the veteran, and what the veteran is sharing back with me. So you're understanding that dynamic. One moment. And not only that, you're understanding the dynamics of working with a veteran. Now you get it. Now you're like, okay, he's being belligerent because he's homeless and he's been let down so many times. And now here you come. What do you have to share with me? That's what it's all about. What can you give me? I'm a homeless veteran. I need help. What are you bringing to the table? Because all these people over here have already told me, no, I don't qualify because I don't fit into somebody's model that the social workers, case managers, or human care professionals have been trained to talk about and do, and that's it. So now, as a realtor, what do you have to say? Well, this book teaches you that. Oh my God, it teaches you really how to help them more than just send them off. So you help them. This book, Finding Home, a nationwide resource guide for supporting homeless veterans. Make sure you get this book. And as a realtor, you're going to need this one too. So the first part is talking to the veteran and really educating the realtor on how veterans operate, how we think. This is understanding the journey in part one. The part one, information for veterans, and this is what in your book. So now you're getting insider information all in this book. So understanding the journey. Where did this veteran come from? I came from the military and I became homeless because my mother moved and I lived with my mother. We all did because my daddy died. And she's like, look, I don't have to stay here. I'm moving with my daughter in Ohio. So that's what she did. And she left us and we really became homeless at the time. So when that happened, I'm going back and forth to the VA. No, nothing. And then I get married to a Marine, actively serving Marine, who was horrible, awful towards me. So now I'm a battered wife, Army veteran, wife of an actively serving Marine, and I'm being battered and I'm running away from my safety. And the VA kept turning me away. You know why? Because I didn't fit into any of their narratives. So now, as a realtor, I've navigated my way out of these situations, and I've navigated over 5,000 homeless veterans out of homelessness using my systems. So, understanding the journey of the veteran, and that was my journey. From the military to homeless, battered and abused, homeless, transitional housing, and rented my first apartment, bought my first house, became an investor, a horrible investor at that. But anyway, I've learned since then. And realtor, and now educator. Well, I've been educating, but now I'm educating publicly. I never told anybody about this stuff. It was too much to share. You know, people ask one question and think that's going to answer your whole, no. So I figured, no, not just, let me just put it in books so that people can read. And if people really want to know, they'll get my books. So make sure you pick up A Realtor's Blueprint on Amazon. Part one, information for veterans. Part two, realtors working with homeless veterans and stable housing. That's it. We are out of time. It's been 1 hour and it's been my pleasure here to serve you all. I'm about to go to another place in the city of Chicago and network with some government and procurement officials. So I will be back at 5:15 to let everybody know how that went. My boots on the ground there at 5:15 p.m. Central. So I'll see you all there. Back at 5:15.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At Vet Mentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. Vet Mentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of Vet Mentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.